Do you have scar tissue? Have you ever had an epidural? Have you had an episiotomy during one of your deliveries if you have children? Did you have a C-section? Maybe you've had a meniscal cleanup at your knee. Maybe you've had a hip or knee replacement. Maybe you had a big fall as a kid. I know I have a little scar up here from a brick wall. Or maybe you've been burned badly. That can sometimes often leave a bad scar. So yeah, all these different ways that we have scar tissue in our body. It's actually one of the highest things up in my methodology as an osteopathic practitioner that we want to treat, because when this scar tissue is laid down, it is very like asymmetrical, and because of that, the motion of it might not be that great, and so it can create an actual fixity, which means it doesn't move well, and then the body and the tissue around it has to figure out how to move around it. So even sometimes for example, if the scar's been there a long time, sometimes treating it can be very helpful for some chronic deeper tension. For example, I had someone who had been stabbed many, many, many years ago, and treating that scar really helped to decrease some of that chronic deeper tension in the neck and shoulder area. Another one that's really interesting is the epidural scar. So that needle going deep into the spine and coming out punctures, right? So it can leave it leaves a little bit of a scar tissue to heal that puncture. And so I found with some people who've had chronic back pain, maybe it's postpartum, or maybe it's actually a long time after having children, there can be this sort of, they've had a lot of treatment at the vertebrae and the normal treatment, but until I really connect to that scar tissue at the level of the spine, we don't get the movement we want. And when that's the issue and you treat it, it can be quite profound in how helpful it is in that type of tension not returning, or that type of discomfort or pain that it's been causing. So scar tissue is really quite fascinating, and it's so helpful in the body. And then you really want to make sure that it is mobile. And so if you think you have like sometimes C-section scars, or scarring from maybe, for example, if you've had your gallbladder removed, or maybe you've had a hysterectomy, those types of things, if those scars are still sort of niggly and you notice them, then you can really just move them around with your fingers really gently, like a little mini massage. You can go to a professional and see if that's part of a story for you, if you've had some chronic issues in the area or surrounding area. And the other thing I like to tell people that I find very, very, very helpful is to rub some nice lavender essential oil to the scar. That can, of course, only if it's fully, fully, fully healed. So especially if it's old, go for it. It can be very, very, very helpful way to also get some more mobility in the area if it's become a real fixity for the body that the body has to sort itself out around. So let me know in the comments if you've got any scars, and if you think now, connecting the dots, hearing this information, that this could be part of the reason maybe you've got some discomfort or some decreased mobility on one side, something like that. I'd love to hear about it, and I'll comment back. Bye-bye.